Hi artists, it's Miss Coon, and we just finished reading the book Pocket Full of Colors. If you're watching this video at home, there's a video posted on Schoology so you can follow along with us and read the book on Schoology. Our project that we're working on today, we're going to make a Mary Blair inspired cuckoo clock, and our I can statement is I could integrate art vocabulary while planning and creating art. Our art vocabulary words that we're going to focus on today are line, shape, and color. So let's get started. Mary Blair was an American artist, animator, and designer. She was one of the first women hired to work for Walt Disney. She created concept art for Alice in Wonderland, Peter Pan, and Cinderella. She designed the ride It's a Small World at Walt Disney World. Today you're going to need a white piece of paper. If you're here at school, I cut it into a square. If you're at home, you can cut yours into a square or use a rectangle. It doesn't matter. We're also going to need a pencil and a Sharpie. Friends at school, I have a Sharpie you can borrow. Do not worry. And friends at home, try to find a permanent marker if you have one. If you don't, you can use a crayon or a regular marker. So let's get started. Alright, I have my square sheet of paper, and I'm going to start by drawing a circle shape for the face of my clock. I'm going to draw a circle shape in the center, and it is okay if it is not a perfect circle. I have some idea sheets that are posted on Schoology for my friends that are at home, and if you're here at school, I have idea sheets that I'm passing out. We're going to use those for inspiration when we create our clock. And the first thing that we'll need to do is give our clock face eyes. I'm going to pick the spiral eyes. And then I'll choose the nose, and I'm going to do the triangle nose with the rectangle. And then the cheeks, there were a couple of different ideas for cheeks, and you can make up some of your own ideas or you can borrow ideas from the worksheet. I'm going to do the circle with like the starburst for my cheeks. And then I'm going to add a smile, and any smile that you would like is perfect. And I'm going to add a triangle shape for eyebrows above the nose, and I need some sort of pattern to go on top of that. I'm going to do a diagonal line, and diagonal line's going the opposite way to make a checkerboard. So I have different kinds of lines, different shapes, and later when I add color, I'll have different colors, and those are creating a design on mine. Now, my clock maybe needs a little shape going around it, so I'm going to add a frame for my clock, and it's not perfectly lined up, and that's okay. And then I'm going to grid the background. So I'm going to draw lines that come down. And I want to try to keep them about the same width apart. They don't have to be perfectly the same. But I'm gridding my background or adding lines. And these are vertical, and then I'll do horizontal lines. And I don't want to draw lines through the face of my clock. They're going to go behind it. Okay. And then for each of these squares on the grid, I want to use a Mary Blair inspired pattern using lines, shapes, and colors to fill that space. And if you're working at home, there's an idea sheet that you can look at on Schoology, and if you're here, there's an idea sheet that you can peek at for ideas in class. So I'm going to speed this up and fill my grid. Okay, Now that I have filled each of the squares in my grid with a pattern, and I decided that I would go all the way around kind of like a frame and then do another pattern around, but you could change your design as often as you'd like. This is your picture. After you've finished it with pencil, you're going to outline with Sharpie. Okay, after you've outlined everything with Sharpie, you'll take your eraser and find the places where you got off of your line and clean up your pencil lines. For today, we're just going to draw our cuckoo clock face inspired by the art of Mary Blair. We'll have our clock face, our background divided into a grid, and we're going to fill it with patterns using lines, shapes, and colors next week. So we'll start adding color next week. I'd love to see how far you get. You can add a photo of this on Instagram at Coon Art Room, or you can email it to Miss Coon at amkuhn@auburnschools.org. Thanks.